find the exact value of cosine, and in parentheses we have tangent inverse of 5 over 12 minus sine inverse of negative 3 over 5. All right, so yeah, this looks like a handful here, so let's try to break this down, right? On the outside we see this cosine, and we see the parentheses with the minus, right? So really there's three different things going on here, right? We got the tangent inverse of 5 over 12, we have the sine inverse of negative 3 over 5, and then we have the cosine of all of that. Well, let's try to break this down a little bit, right? We know what an inverse function should be, right? Tangent inverse of 5 over 12 is equal to some angle A. Okay, now we don't know how many degrees angle A is, but we don't need to know, right? All we know is that tangent of A is equal to 5 over 12. Similarly, we know that the sine inverse of negative 3 over 5 is equal to some other angle. We'll call that B. So sine of B is equal to negative 3 over 5. Okay, so let's think about that again, right? This tangent inverse of 5 over 12 is just some angle A. And this, right, the sine inverse of negative 3/5, that's just some angle B. So really what we're dealing with is the cosine of A minus B. Okay. Hey, that's just a difference formula for cosine, right? The difference formula for cosine is cosine of A, cosine of B, plus the sine of A times the sine of B. Okay. So really, okay, what we're trying to find is the cosine of A minus B. That's a difference formula for cosine. Okay, and this, you can think of this as the given information here, right? Well, I know the tangent of A, so can I figure out what the cosine of A and the sine of A is? Well, by now you should be able to, right? Similarly, I know the sine of B. Can I figure out what the cosine of B is? And yes, we should be able to, right? So let's draw these out, right? Just to make it a little bit easier, I guess. Tangent of A is 5 over 12. Well, here's angle A. The tangent is opposite over adjacent, so opposite is 5. This length here will be 12, which makes the hypotenuse equal to 13. And take a look. Sine of A, I know that now, right? So I know sine of A is 5 over 13. I know that the cosine of A is 12 over 13. What about this angle, right? Okay, sine of B is negative 3/5. Well, I know that, well, if sine is negative, it's either quadrant 3 or quadrant 4. How do I know which one? It's going to make a big difference, right? Because then cosine is negative here, cosine is positive here. So how do you know if it's in quadrant 3 or quadrant 4? Well, the key is we're dealing with sine inverse. And we know that for sine inverse, we only deal with in quadrants 1 and 4. So we know that whatever this angle is, right, it has to be in quadrant 4, not in quadrant 3. So, okay, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, which makes this negative 3, which makes the hypotenuse of 5, which makes this then here a positive 4. So, the sine of B is negative 3/5, which was given, but now we know what the cosine of B is, right? That is positive 4/5. And now we have all the information we need to actually answer the question, right? Remember, this is the question we want to answer, the cosine of A minus B. So what do we got? Cosine of A, which is 12 over 13, cosine of B, which is 4/5, plus the sine of A, which is 5 over 13, times the sine of B. In this case, we have a negative 3/5. Okay, so let's multiply and then simplify. 12 times 4 is 48. 13 times 5 on the denominator gives us 65. Here we have a negative 15 over 65. So this we can simplify a little bit more, right? We get positive 33 over 65. This is called the exact value. It's not the decimal answer, right? Whenever it's asking for the exact value, you always want to give the fractional answer.